All I'm going to say is that was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. They did Carlos Rodon dirty. They did him dirty today. He hung in there, put him in a position to win, and they did nothing. Shout out to Giancarlo Stanton for supplying the only run with the Yankees, for the Yankees with a home run. Aside from that, it was an embarrassing performance by this team, particularly this offense, right? And just by the stuff that we saw, the defensive ineptitude in that inning from Anthony Volpe, and just they, I would just pass on the trade with Arizona. I would pass on the trade with Arizona. Okay, and I would look for a trade with the Pittsburgh Pirates or the Rockies. And we'll get to that too, but we'll box score this first. Trent Grisham was 1 for 3. Judge 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Okay, Chisholm 1 for 3. Stanton 1 for 4 with a home run. Dominguez 0 for 4. He hasn't gotten a hit in 3 weeks now. Is anybody going to talk about that? Right. Grisham gets hits. Dominguez, no. Paul Goldschmidt 1 for 4. Austin Wells 0 for 4. Anthony Volpe 0 for 3. Ben Rice 0 for 1 with that strikeout there. And Oswald Peraza 1 for 3. Yankees got 5 hits. Carlos Rodon 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs. Only 2 of them were earned though because of the errors. 5 walks. He needs to get better on walks and 4 strikeouts. Scotty Frost came in a clean inning. JT Brubaker came in through 2 clean innings. So those guys did their jobs. They did their jobs. The defense did not. Right? This is not Boone's problem, Cardiac. Fire Boone is such a cop-out for so many people. Okay? Fact of the matter is, the Blue Jays they got like the magic. They got the mojo. What they have, what the Yankees had. Right? They have it right now. The Yankees do not. Okay? And we'll just recap this around the board. Nationals are up 10-6 on the Reds in the 9th. The Mets and the Angels are tied at 5 in the 8th. Braves are up 9-4 on the Giants in 7th. The White Sox are up 8-2 on the Rays. The Rangers are up 5-2 on the Athletics. The Royals are up 7-4 on the Cubs. Cardinals and Rockies are tied at 2. Brewers, Mariners, no score. Astros, Diamondbacks, no score. The Twins play the Dodgers 10-10 tonight. Phillies walked off on the Red Sox with catcher's interference. Catcher's interference. I've never seen a walk-off on catcher's interference before. Guardians 10-5 over the Orioles today. The Pirates 3-0 over the Tigers. 3-0. Was this a Paul Skeens game? Yes, it was. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 6 strikeouts. ERA is 191, Paul Skeens. Padres 2-1 over the Marlins. And that's it across the board. Okay? Right now, these are the defensive rankings, okay, for third base. Brian Hayes is ranked 3rd in baseball. He's ranked 1st in defensive run save, but 3rd in fielding percentage. And Ryan McMahon from the Rockies is ranked 7th in baseball. Yo, NFE. Hope you had that spice to the food, baby. Ryan McMahon and Brian Hayes are both top 10 in defensive rankings for third base. Those are the 2 guys I'd be looking at. At this point, trading for Suarez and the relief pitcher who's on the IL and the starting pitcher is not the trade to make. I like Suarez's bat, but we clearly need help defensively in the infield. Clearly, right? Ryan McMahon helps provide that. And you can get 2 relievers or 1 reliever from the Rockies, that's a good idea. If you can go to the Pirates, which I know they're talking to, and you can get Brian Hayes and get IKF. Get 2 of them. And you try to get Mitch Keller too and David Bednar. Make a monster trade with them if you can. Okay? And if you can do it without trading Spencer Jones, you do it without trading Spencer Jones. At this point, I'd rather trade Dominguez than Spencer Jones. Okay? He isn't doing enough for me to say keep him around and trade Spencer Jones. Dominguez is not doing enough for me to trade Spencer Jones. No way in hell. I don't care what anybody says. You're welcome to disagree with me. I don't care. The injuries suck, Victoriano. You're not lying about that. Yeah, yeah. Pope Leo's got to be. Yeah, he's got to be fired up. Yeah. Well, who would you go with, Steels, if you pass on Hayes and IKF? There's no better combo, at least right now. It makes it easier to sit Volpe on occasion, and Volpe needs to sit on occasion, right? I would not trade Grisham. If I had to trade somebody, you trade Dominguez to get more value back. I'd keep Grisham and bring up Spencer Jones. Dominguez not show me enough to trade Spencer Jones. No way in hell. Ah, I don't know if the Pirates would move O'Neal Cruz, would they? Easy minded. Why don't you guys win a World Series before you start talking and trolling, dude? Win a World Series. It's been 30 years since you won one. 30. Okay? You haven't won dick in 30 years. Yeah, we don't have the guys to sit Volpe right now, Elvie. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to sit him for Peraza, right? Yeah, the defense let Rodon down, man. Some teams will pay Dominguez, but he's an underwhelming outfielder. He's got pretty good plate discipline. He's got 5 years of control left. You move him. You don't move. You know. You don't move Spencer Jones. And again, I'm not only talking about 2025. Their issues go beyond this year. They're going to keep Volpe around and keep some of these guys. Their issues go beyond this year. So anybody they trade for has to have controllable years, right? And Cabrera's not here right now. I wish he was. I wish he was. Yeah, Grisham is a free agent next year, so Bobish, I don't know. I didn't say it was only Volpe. I went over the recap. Judge struck out twice. We have 5 hits, not 4. Yeah, 20 pin. Yeah, that guy. I mean, he tipped his cat to that guy. That guy hit a ton of foul balls. He worked the count like a motherfucker. So, Ken, what do you know? The defense was terrible. Yeah, I mean, Rodon showed us, man. He showed us what he had, man. This team has to show us what they have because right now, what they have is not enough. Clearly, right? The Yankees are not going to be sellers, Andrew. And the Jays, they got to win the World Series before you start trolling and talking. You got to win the whole thing. There is plenty of games. There are plenty of games left. But if I'm making trades right now, I want to trade for beyond this year. There's no update on Suarez. The price is high, LV. And at this point right now, Suarez is not going to help their defense as much as it would, you know. He's not going to help their pitching. Neither would Hayes or neither would IKF, neither would Ryan. None of those guys are going to help their pitching. We need guys. We need relievers to come back with these guys. Relievers with controllable years. I'd be looking into the Twins also. But now we're 4 out. The Blue Jays, yeah, they have one in 32 years. They could troll all you want. Troll in July. Whatever, dude. I don't know, Winka. I mean, I really don't know. I'm hoping that moves happen tonight, the next couple days. Yeah. I would rather have arms than a bat. Yeah, I would. Our offense has enough. We need arms. We need arms. Yeah, well, I agree, Sunil. The Jays might break their coast before the Mets do. Yeah. Yeah, the Yankees are not going to sell. Burrows, I don't know. Why Burrows franchise? Leiter coming back. I mean, you have him coming back. You have Hill coming back at some point. You have some other guys coming back too, but it's not going to be enough. Blue Jays Twitter. Who cares about Blue Jays Twitter? If you need to troll, then you're a JV squad, okay? Your fan base is JV if you need to constantly troll. JV, okay? This isn't Aaron Boone's fault, Joe. But yeah, the Yankees are not playing well, and the Blue Jays are. There's no denying that. If he costs less than Kell, then he's worth looking at. Do I think the Mariners are... I don't know, Wink. That's a good question. I think Louis Hill, he's going to get another start Wednesday. I think he needs one more beyond that, and then maybe. I wouldn't rush him back. Xavier Edwards from the Marlins, one of their relievers, like Ronnie Henriquez. You got, guys like Willie Castro from the Twins. You get one of their relievers. Otto Lopez. There are trades that can be made, and there's a lot of players that are available that Cashman can extract value from. So don't be surprised if he's busy. And the fact is, he has to be busy. There's no two ways about it. He has to be busy. Oh, we know, yeah. The trolls have nothing more than talking points. Twitter stuff. That's why they're a JV fan base. If you have to go and troll other channels on other teams, you're a JV fan base. Really. Blue Jays, good team. Fans, weak. Oh, yeah, let the troll talking point universe. You got that right, Ken. I agree. These people have nothing more than talking points. That's all they have. No, they didn't, Yassine. You keep peddling that talking point. It's not going to really have much ground here. No. Yeah. When's the last time the Leafs have won the championship? I don't know. Otto Lopez is worth a look, but there are other people. They need two. They need at least two relievers. Yeah, Scherzer tomorrow versus Cam Schlittler. Yep. Yeah, good luck. Good luck to the Blue Jays too, Mike. 1967. They haven't won in 57 years, and and they're trolling. Oh, good lord. Oh god, it's like the Mets fans. They troll the Yankees. They haven't won in 40 years. 39, excuse me, 1986. And they're like trolling Yankees left and right. I mean, get real, people. JV, get real. Yeah, exactly, Stephen B. Got to trade for all those dudes. The Yankees are gaining momentum apparently on Mitch Keller, but we'll see. 67 is the last time the Maple Leafs have won the Stanley Cup. If they're trolling, they love to troll. So Blue Jays won, 1992 or 93, I think. 30 years. 33 years. Yeah. Yeah, good pitchers. You made Mets fans with Mets Mania. What's Mets Mania, Stephen B? What's that? A lot of us are tired of the losing. That's, people are acting like they're in last place. They're not. That doesn't excuse the sloppy play. The package. I mean, the Pirates probably represent the best team to do a package deal with. They really do. Probably a package deal where I don't know. Crazy Stephen B. Ozzie again? Oh hell no, hell no. Ignite this team, please. Hard pass on Ozzie again. Man, what's up, man? We got to get game 2. Yeah, we do. Toronto FC won the MLS Cup. All right. Yeah, they have lost 10-12. They got swept twice by the Brewers now. I remember people were handing the Dodgers the championship in the beginning of the season. Remember that? Yeah, I remember that. Well, that's a suggested trade package. That's not the Yankees package. They would not offer uh, a package with Cam Schiller and 2 of the draft picks from last year for those guys and the reliever that's on the IL. That's not a trade package put forth by the Yankees. But I heard about that. Yeah, they would never lead with a package like that. Yeah, the Brewers are tied for first now with the Cubs, right? So yeah, yeah. The Dodgers are not the best team in baseball. They're not. Yeah, definitely not for rentals. And all those guys from the Diamondbacks are rentals. Suarez, Merrill Kelly, and Beeks. All of them. Let the Blue Jays feel themselves. Well, they need to. July is not October, so let them go right ahead. No, they didn't get exposed even more. Their defense was not good tonight, man. I don't think anything extra was exposed. Do I think? I hope they do something tonight, finish. I hope so. If they do, I'll be back live talking about it. We need something. The fan base needs something to feel good about, right? Volpe, yeah, yeah. D-Man, what's up? Even Michael Garcia is in the top 10 fielding percentage too from the Royals. That's not enough, but might be something. Sloppy play is indicative of a weak manager. Okay, whatever you say, Joseph. Yeah, let's blame the manager for sloppy play by the players. That's their job to do. hmm Got the division wrapped up. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far. I don't really care what a Blue Jays bark has to say anyway. So I love when people say that in July. So whatever, whatever. Was New York Cav to lose playing Vivas for Praza? I mean, nothing right now. They have nothing to lose right now. Hayes helps the team beyond this year. Suarez does not. And if you're going to go with Volpe next year, you're going to need somebody to protect him at third base. And Suarez is not here beyond this year. Right? McMahon would be here. Garcia would be here. Hayes would be here. Those guys would be here. Yes, they are. They're terrible against those two teams in the AL East. Hayes, Bednar. I mean, that might, but that's not going to be enough. That trade. That trade won't be enough. They still have to trade for a bullpen relief beyond that. Bednar, I can see happening, Robert. I can see happening. Depressed? No, I'm not. Frustrated, sure, but not depressed. Takes a hell of a lot more than that. Frustrated. Frustrated, AJ. As we all are. But tomorrow's another day. What am I going to do? Spend my whole night complaining about it? No. What's the point? If he goes to Toronto, let him go to Toronto. There's plenty of relievers to be had. I think that'll be the position that's traded the most at the deadline. Relief pitching. There's a lot of relievers that are available, or that will be available. How much for Bednar alone? Not a ton. I mean, you get a decent prospect or two because he's got a year beyond this year of control. So, um, we don't know Casey or Sellers yet. That's the other thing too. We don't know. People are saying somebody's suggesting Lugo and Garcia, but Kansas City hasn't put them on the market. So yeah, they don't. I'm frustrated too, Mike. Toronto is on fire. Yeah, there's no denying that. And the fan base just loves to troll and troll and troll about it. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Roderick Arias for David Bednar? Maybe. He's blocked anyway, Roderick Arias. He's blocked anyway. O'Neill Cruz would be fun. Opie Wells, Rice, Neto, Hopper, Hefo. I pass on Renhefo. He's nothing more than a utility guy. That's a lot. That's a big trade, but I would pass on Renhefo. I do think, yeah, I agree. Arias is likely trade bait. A bunch of guys, TJ Rumfield, and we went over them earlier today. There's a bunch of guys that are going to be trade bait because they're going to need to clear some more roster spots on the 40 man to protect guys from the Rule 5 draft. So, Anthony Bender. I mean, if I wanted to get a relief arm, I'd go after Ronnie Henriquez too. He's a big arm. I got you. Much love, AJ. AJ, same here, brother. Same here. Yeah, I went over that list earlier today with Jonathan. Yeah. Cabrera will be back in 2026. Yeah. We'll see what happens tomorrow. We have to just take it day by day. Got a whole bunch of people saying that they're going to trade, they're going to sweep the Yankees, and already 2 hit games. They said the same thing about the Braves when they rode and won the first game. We try to keep it level headed here, AJ. You know what I mean? There's no need to just, especially overreacting on bad information, especially when you're using other people's talking points and narratives. Like, get real, people. Are we frustrated? Sure, but we don't have to be on, one hat with our hair on fire, 1 foot off the ledge. We don't have to do. We don't have to do it be that way. Yeah, well, you're right too, Leotis. Yeah, we're gonna need some of our relievers tomorrow. yeah. Buckeye, yes. It is one game. A bad defensive effort. You're right about that. But kudos to Stanton. He still looks good. He does look good. We don't know if he would not add balance to the lineup or not. We don't know. He'd be part of a much better lineup here. And he'd probably be batting the bottom third of it. Excuse me. He would have utilized differently here, McMahon. But I'm not. I don't want him unless Jake Bird's going to come with him. It's got to be a double whammy. Jocelyn, you and me both. Stanton's my guy. Yeah, I mean Hayes is the infield that I want from Pittsburgh. Yeah. Who's my favorite go-to person for trade info? I have a couple of sources on the inside that work with the Yankees or the Yankees. I do not go to Twitter and beat writers and stuff like that. I wait until stuff's reported, not narratives. Thank you, Mike. Exactly. Got a DFA Stanton right now, Ken. Right? I can't name the sources. No, Jeff Passan doesn't work for the Yankees. Scuba might get $400 million, but he's going to be 30 when he gets that contract. So he also mentioned the Mets too, but only what he's Hector Gomez. No, and like I said, I'm not going to name my source, but I'll tell you that he's not my source. He's not the gospel either. So they work inside for the Yankees. Okay, that's all I'll say. What trade would I make right now? Pirates probably, or um, or Twins, or Rockies. Pirates, Twins, or Rockies. Yeah, I can't confirm. I don't listen to WFAN, so I can't confirm that for sure. Yeah. Both CeeLo. They'll make a move beforehand and on the deadline. They'll very likely make moves both before the deadline and on deadline day. They usually make a move on deadline day. You sometimes too. But if you want to focus on improving your infield defense, Brian Hayes is the top. He doesn't have the bat that Suarez does, but again, it really depends on what the Yankees' priority is and what the price is going to be. If the expectation is Spencer Jones for Suarez, there's no way I'm trading Spencer Jones for Suarez. No way. Reporter? I don't want to become a reporter. I'd rather do this when I can report stuff that sometimes reporters don't know. Sometimes I know stuff before reporters do. I'd rather do this from the comfort of my own home. We'll see where Suarez goes. I mean, the Cubs are in on him too, so. Well, exactly. Peraza, yeah. Well, if I break news, AJ, too, I also corroborate it. I mean, if somebody else breaks it, I let you know exactly who breaks the news, because that's just fair to do. I'm not going to claim this news is mine if someone else breaks it. I'm not doing that. That's not fair. I know other people do that, but I'm not going to do that. Keller has 3 years of control you've seen beyond this year. 3. No, I'm not gonna do that, AJ. Don't worry. Don't worry. Ken Rosenthal is one of the more trustworthy sources. So is Passan. Right? So Passan, Rosenthal, Jack Curry. Those guys are good sources. Well, exactly. You give up the sources and they won't be sources for you anymore. Hmm. If you get good relationships with people, then sometimes they feed you information and no one else knows. Sometimes I'll share them with certain people. Andy Martino is another one. There are other people that break stuff too. Why do change? Well, mainly basically because we don't have a steady bat in the middle of the lineup, right? If you get like a guy like if you get a Suarez, you can bat him at fifth every day. It makes it easier to have a guy's consistent guy at the top. Like Dominguez, you can bat him first or second, right? But we need a guy there to be a stabilizing force, so that it solidifies what's above him and it helps solidify what's below him. We don't have that right now. No, Coach Carl. Yes, they are. They're definitely hard to watch. There's no denying that. I hate seeing me Tony Pay. Yeah, me too. I'd I'd rather he be in a like Cincinnati Reds uniform or something. Yeah, worst payroll exactly. Agree with WFA on what? Yeah, I don't watch any with WFA and Salica. I don't watch any of those guys. It's a waste of time. I don't get any value from them. Yeah, the GM is meeting. Yeah, and Jonathan's also a valuable source of information. You know, people do their fact checking, they do their research, they do their homework, and I appreciate that. The Phillies walked off on catcher interference. Unbelievable. Said he beat the Red Sox, which is good. Which is good. Yeah, I don't listen to any WFAN. Nothing. Yeah. Not when it comes to baseball. Spending raise pay. I don't know. I think Coach Carl. I mean, I don't think the expensive players are the best fits here. At least from who was available. I don't think the expensive players are the best fits. I don't think they're going to need to raise it by that much. Do I think they'll match what they had last year? Yeah, yeah, at least that. They might add a little bit beyond that, but they need help beyond this year. Like, if they make a trade with Arizona, all those guys are rentals. It doesn't do anything to help them beyond this year. They make a trade with Pittsburgh, it helps them beyond this year. The Rockies beyond this year, Twins beyond this year. So my guess is, you know, yeah, I know some people. Exactly. Exactly. The talking point central right there, Ken. Exactly. Yeah, it was a nice little trade for the Phillies. I mean, it's a nice little signing for the Phillies, but he's not going to be ready. He's not going to be ready for weeks. That we choked. Yeah, who's saying it, Tiffany? I'm sure it's the same people all the time. Yeah, Varland, Griffin Jacks. Those two guys won't cost as much as John Duran, right? So yeah, Robert, he signed with the Phillies yesterday. Dave Robinson. It's a good signing for them. I mean, they needed some relief pitchers. So they lost Alvarado for the like half the season and the playoffs for getting popped with PEDs. So he'll eventually with Buckeye, yeah, he'll help. How much I don't know. I mean, does he mean they should not get pitchers? No, I would still get pitchers regarding it, but I would at the very least get two relief pitchers. Who are you going to replace Volpe with and Peraza with, Joseph? Well, yeah. I mean, it was prorated though, so he's getting 5 million. He's getting a prorated 16 million, so that's essentially 5 million at this point. But the Phillies can afford it; they're not over the threshold like the Yankees. Hill is making another start, Tiffany, on Thursday, and Wednesday, in 2 days, and then I think he's going to get one more start, and after that, and then they'll decide whether to send him up or not. I have not seen Superman yet, but I heard good things about it. Texas, man. Yes, he did. Pez Candy, man. That's right. That's right. Abbott and Costello. It's exactly CeeLo. Exactly. Yeah, I mean, every time Bopey does something like this, it's going to make the calls for George Lombard that much louder. The calls for somebody else that much louder. Yeah, he didn't have much command, Rodon, but he kept them in the game at least. The defense let him down. The defense definitely let him down. He battled his way through 5 innings against a really good lineup, but his pitch count, yeah. But that one hitter, I mean, he worked the count like that. No tomorrow. And Rodon tipped his cap to him too. 10 foul balls in a row, just crazy. Hayes, Keller, and O'Neill Cruz for Volpe, Warren, Schlittler, and Andrew Velasquez. Interesting, but that's a trade I'd consider, Joe. If you can make that, if you could pull that off. Yeah. Yeah, when Ace and Jonathan recommend movies, I tend to want to see them. So, hmm yeah, 14. Yeah, he worked the count, man. That's the way to do it. It's like Tony Gwynn style right there. If we ask for yes, they would ask for Jones. Yes, they would. Yeah, well, exactly to Lombard. Yeah, he's not ready yet. He's not. He's struggling in Double A. He's still developing. hmm And I know a lot of people also say that. I mean, Jones has. I think he's got better upside than him. Yeah, I think he's got better upside than Dominguez too. I know a lot of people say, well, just because you're hitting AAA doesn't mean it's going to translate to the majors, which is true. But Dominguez never hit like this in the minors in AAA ever, not even close. Jones is 2 miles ahead of where Dominguez was in AAA. No, Cruz does have a cannon, yeah. The Philly, I'm still picking him as my nationally representative for the World Series. I still think they're going to be the national team in the World Series. And Jonathan, I'm telling you, I think Dominguez will be traded before Jones too. People keep crapping on Volpe and Grisham, and Dominguez hasn't gotten a hit in like 3 weeks. Yeah, you might be right, Joe. Joseph, at the earliest, I would say a September call up for Spencer Jones. I can see the value in Ben Rice being traded at this point because he would fetch value back, right? So he could fetch value back for his team. Not that I want him to go, but he could fetch value back. He's a better lefty hitter, Carr, but that's all I can say. He's never done anything. He's never done anything to wow me. I mean, he's had a couple good games, but he's not given us enough to justify trading Spencer Jones. At least in my opinion, not doing enough. No. Daniel Pena, what's good? What's happening? Hey, Carl, how's Barrett's summer training going? Is he getting ready for a Chapel Hill soon? Yeah, those two guys joined Mike Smith's group. Uh, is it Wolf and Strand? Those guys are going to be sub 13 next year. Both of them, I think. Barrett's rolling. Good. Good. Yes, I would rather trade Dominguez than Jones. Instantly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Was that Tiffany? Do you think? Are you referring to the wild card? I mean, I think the division's not still up for grabs. So we're July. We still have months of baseball left. All of August, all of September, and then some of October. So we have plenty of baseball left. He's translated upward, and his metrics are off the charts, Jay Snow. But yeah, his minor league numbers dwarf Dominguez's minor league numbers. Have a good night too, John K. Yeah, we need two bullpen guys now, not weeks from now. Now, yeah, we need some arms in a bullpen, and we need somebody who can be a better infielder, right? To help freaking Anthony Volpe at shortstop. We can still win the series, Tiffany. It's not going to be easy, but we can still win the series, and I hope we do. I really do. Last time the Jays swept us, can't have that happen again. Can't do it. Yeah, I mean Grisham just puts the ball in play, and he's no, we don't get rid of Freed. No, yeah, the info we are getting on it is real info. It's not hype. No. Dominguez, Jones, Schlittler for Warren, and Warren for Acuna. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, we'll see. We're taking one game. We're taking one game at a time tomorrow. Let's see how Schlittler does. And if he's the real deal, then he'll at least hold up, against Toronto. He'll keep the team in the ball game at the very least. So, but you're right too, Carl. We do need another star. That's why they're talking to Pittsburgh for Mitch Keller. Mm-hmm. Lombard, Jones, Hesson, Rice for John Ramirez. Yeah, it's people will love him, Ramirez and Classy. Unfortunately, Ramirez is not going anywhere. Classy, he might get moved, but not Ramirez. Could you imagine that? I don't even waste my time at the press conferences. They might be selling. That doesn't mean they're going to sell Acuna. Yeah, somebody getting Jones and Dominguez in one trade that's crazy. That would be a crazy trade. Kate Smith is a guy worth looking into from the Guardians. I don't. Yeah, they're talking actively with Pittsburgh, Tiffany, right now. They're gaining momentum too with Pittsburgh. Hess, Arias, Peraza, and a scar for Suarez and Gallon. I would take Merrill Kelly over Zach Gallen. Mm-hmm. I think there's a good chance that JC gets traded. For who? I don't know. Maybe a relief pitcher or something. I'm not sure. But my guess is he'll go to a team that has a lot of young pitching because he's an expert pitch framer. He can help those young pitchers develop. So my guess is National League. Well, this is true to our call too. Yeah, Kate Smith will be expensive. I don't know if he'll be as expensive as Emmanuel Clase, but he won't be cheap. That's for sure. I agree with you there. He will be pricey, but it's guys like that that are worth paying a price for. Right? We're gonna have to give to get in with those types of players. No doubt about it. Yeah, I would do the trade with Pittsburgh before the one with Diamondbacks because it helps the Yankees beyond this year, right? No, Stephen Kwan's not being moved. No. Duran, Willie Castro, that would be a monster trade. John Duran, Willie Castro, and Griffin Jackson, the same trade. That would be a huge trade. That would cost. That would cost quite a bit. That would cost a Jones or a Dominguez probably. Ken, you might be close. They might need to add O'Neill Cruz to Skeens if we're going to give him JC Escara. That's probably more fair. Yeah. Well, I agree, Matt. But the problem is we can't force the deadline to come, right? We can't make other teams make their players available before the deadline. That has to go both ways. Yankees can call all they want, but teams will just say, you know what, I'm going to hold on because they'll pay more in a week. Like that's what teams will do. Ooh, cannolis and Big Macs. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Gosh. Losing AL team in 20 years. He hasn't managed a losing team. Tell a homeless guy he hasn't managed a losing team yet. Hated like Gary did for his team. Yeah, no kidding. Well, he's been like granted immunity almost because of the hype that he was bestowed. So yeah, they need to make some moves now. Not not a week from now, right? So they need to make moves now. We need to get some type of momentum here. Yeah, Gito will not manage. No way. No. Carolina Big Macs. Italian American dish created at the fair with a fan. That could be one of our specials, CeeLo. That's one of our premier. Like that'll be at the top. One of our top 5 specials right there. Yeah. Suarez hit again, number 36. Unbelievable. He's just increasing his trade value by day, every day. Oh yeah. Coldplay Kiss. Cindy, you get jokes, man. Sylvia, you're right. You're right about that too. It's got to be some diamond in the rough we don't know about. It's got this somebody will get moved that turns into be a gem. Happens every year. Like Tommy Edman last year for the Dodgers. Who would have thunk? Turned into a friggin' gem. So, yeah, Suarez in this lineup would be great, but they need more than that. I mean, I would still try to make a trade with the Twins and try to get Willie Castro too. Willie Castro could be their utility guy. That way, it makes it easier to sit Volpe on occasion. You could play Suarez at third and Castro at short, right? And what is the change going to do, Matt? Getting rid of what is that going to do? The issues are still the same. The injuries are still the same. What manager can come in here and change everything around, make guys healthy all of a sudden? What manager can come in and change the bullpen around? None of them. Nobody. The problems are still the problems. Trevino, who? Lou Trevino? Nah, probably not. They have to go higher up. They need some high leverage guys. Uh, Castro could Castro could do a lot of things, but I mean, I would probably keep him in the infield. Bless you. Well, they played at Yankee Stadium when they came here last. Suarez's bat. But again, it's still the better trade, the better value trade is Pittsburgh because it goes beyond this year. His defense is actually ranked 14th in all of baseball. He's in the top half, Suarez. He's ranked, let me see, let's just confirm. Yeah, 14th. Austin Riley's below him at 15th. Junior Camanero's 13th. Jose Ramirez is 12th. Connor Norby, 11th. Matt Chapman, 10. Michael Garcia, 9. Isaac Paredes, 8. Ryan McMahon, 7. Josh Jung, 6. Ben Williamson, 5. Caleb Durbin, 4. Okay, Brian Hayes, 3. Alec Boehm, 2. Nolan Arenado, 1. Yep. This is about winning games, Matt. And I asked you a question. Who can replace him? Who's going to come in and fix it all? Since you say it's about leadership and right and all that stuff, who's gonna bring that and coaching? I do remember that, Ken. Yeah. Durbin movie, yeah. That was a good trade for the Brewers. Excuse me. How do you know he doesn't discipline anybody in the team? How do you know? And what manager that you know openly disciplines players? There isn't a manager in the game that openly disciplines his players. So we got to stop with that narrative. There's no manager's going to throw his players under the bus. None of them. Zero. And again, you keep dancing around this, Matt. Who? I'm asking you who. This is the third time I asked you now. Who would replace him? That would fix it all. Instead of the talking points, please come up with an answer, a solution, on why. Yeah, Orioles are still terrible. He's a bro. What does a bro coach mean, Joe? What is that? Yeah, well, provided the condition that O'Neill would actually want to manage, and we don't know whether he'd be able to manage the way he plays. We don't know that. Brad Osmussen, why? You know this how? And I didn't ask you, Joe. I asked the other guy. That's your answer. That's fine. But why? Why is Brad Osmus the answer? I asked Matt. Matt Chapman, I don't think he's available. But at his contract, it's not worth it. Well, exactly. They don't have players. Exactly, Ron. They don't have other players to put in. Boone can't replace these guys. They don't have the depth. That's a Cashman thing. It's not a Boone thing. An interim. Who? Who? Right? Right? People love blaming Boone for the losses, but they don't love to give him credit for the wins. How would I feel about Mel? Well, it's not going to happen. He's employed with the Blue Jays. So I'm not even going to entertain something that's not possible, Mark. But Mattingly, yeah, what I love, yeah, sure, but he's with the Blue Jays. He's not going to give up that. Did I see Ricardo report? No? Well, that proposal. No, I didn't say that, Boom. I asked you a question like 5 times that you can't come and answer to. Don't try to turn this around on me. I didn't say Boone's not any problem here. Ricky Ricardo proposal, yeah. That's too much to give up first. I mean, first of all, Jalen Beeks is on the IL. I don't want to trade for a reliever that's on the IL. We can't use him right now. So by that metric alone, the trade package has to go down. It doesn't work that way, Joe. If he's expected to use analytics, he doesn't have any say in that. There's a reason why Bruce Bochy's not a manager here. There's a reason why Mattingly's not a manager here. Right? As much as it would be nice for a manager to rely on his gut, he's going to have to implement analytics. Any manager that comes here is going to have to do that. It's not only a Boone thing; that's an every manager thing. Yeah, I mean, the D-backs trade. It doesn't make any. That trade doesn't make. It's too much. And why would you propose a guy on the IL in the trade? Why would they do that? The Rays lost two. Okay, good. The Red Sox lost two. All right. So at least pretty much the AL East lost, with the exception of the Blue Jays. Terry Francona is the manager of the Reds. I don't think they're gonna lose him. He's gonna do a good job developing those young kids over there, and he's in a low pressure environment too, so he's gonna do well there. I think. Yeah. Well, they have to make moves like now, like sooner than later. Like just they can't wait. I hope Cashman's on the phone right now. I really do. I really, really do. Now let me take a look here. Let's see. Has anything happened at all? Yeah, they got baited when he was on the IL, but he was also right, probably the best defensive center field in baseball. And they didn't need him immediately right out of the gate. Why don't you ask Boone that, Matt, not me? Ask him that. I can't speak for Boone. But I do that now. But I'm not Boone. Right? Mm, look at this. A reporter just asked Oswald Peraza how it feels to miss out on the opportunity and potentially be replaced at the trade deadline. He's straight up said his career has been a disappointment. Peraza said that. And that's partly on him. That's partly on the Yankees. No. But nothing you can do at this point now. Can't change that. Let's see. Yeah, well, I agree. IKF is not a game changer, but he's better than Peraza. He's better than Vivas. So, um, yeah. Peraza's instincts aren't there. I mean, and Volpe's instincts aren't really there yet either. I don't know, Word Lifer. Well, number one, does he interested in managing? And I have no idea whether it would translate. I don't know. He's a gamer as a player, no doubt about it, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help. Yeah. Yeah. Who sell who, Matt? Who are you going to sell? Take the call, Ken. Let him give him some drop some knowledge on him, Ken. Tell him, bro. Come on. I don't watch the post game press conferences. Never. I don't get any value out of it, so I don't watch them. Just like I don't listen to certain channels. I don't watch certain channels. I don't get any value out of these channels either. All they do is trash people, trash Yankees, trash. Zero value, none. Cash. Oh, he's on the phone, CeeLo. He's on the phone. He is. But again, you can make phone calls. Doesn't mean other people are gonna pick up. Right? Doesn't mean people are gonna. I wish it was that easy. I could just say, dude, send me a guy over. I wish it was that easy. I really do. Um, yes, Boone has to play Volpe. Who are you gonna replace him with? No, the season's not over. Yanks for life. Division's not over yet either. Not in July. Not in June. July. Excuse me. Not in July. Include O'Neal Cruz in it. Could you imagine that? That'd be a crazy trade. That would be a crazy trade. Yeah, smack that like button, gang, if you haven't done that yet. No. If they weren't, I mean, it's not a great team, Yanks for life. There's no denying that, but they're not out of this. Okay? They're not out of this, Yanks for life. What's good about the team are the reasonable fans and the reasonable players. And the fact that they're not gonna just throw in the white flag. Evan Williams, Luke Weaver, Schmidt, Goldschmidt, Grisham, Hill, and Loizaga expiring. Bellinger and Strong with complicated contract. You don't. If you're gonna sell, you have to sell Colin. You have to sell Judge. That's selling. You really want to sell, you have to sell the big cogs. Otherwise, it's not selling. Let that sit in your belly for a little bit, because that's selling. They'd be like the Braves. If they want to sell, they got to sell Acuna and Matt Olson. That's selling, not flea marketing. Right? They have to, that's why this. I mean, it's better to, especially in a turf like that where the ball just moves faster. Like they need better defense in the infield. The Yankees, no doubt about it. And yeah, the D-backs are not selling Ketel Martin and Corbin Carroll. No, no. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna get to rest. I'm gonna get to sleep too. In a minute, I'll let you guys go. I'm gonna go get a shower and get some rest too. No doubt. Well, I mean, he's the guy Yanks for life. If they want to focus on defense, Hayes is the guy to bring in. Right? The stats don't lie. But if they want to add thump at third base from the righty side, Suarez is the guy to bring in. So it really depends on who they want to bring in, what they're going to pay for. Luis Angel Acuna, I don't know. I don't know. Jake, it should happen any day. I mean, it's got to happen any day. It's got to. The first move, it's got to happen. But again, the problem is we don't know when other teams are going to make their players available. That's one of the problems. That's the other half of the trade deadline. You know, and Rodon didn't do that bad today. He kept him in the game. The defense did him dirty. He kept him in the game. Well, exactly. You got to trade for controllable players. All those players from the Diamondbacks are rentals. Every one of them. Go shave. go, go shave him, CeeLo. Get him nice and smooth, bro. Yankee Twilight, exactly. I think I am. Yeah. Right now, the two players that are on this major league roster that can extract the most value in a trade are Ben Rice and Jason Dominguez. Those are the guys that can get the most value right now in a trade. Deuces, Joe. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, too. Yeah, no doubt about it. We got to win this. We can't go in and then because the Phillies are not going to be a cakewalk either. They're a tough team. Tough team. Well, that's the question, Ron. Yeah. Are we going to trade them? I don't know. I can see them trading Rice before Dominguez. Yeah, I saw that post on Twitter, Jake. It's not the equivalent of. Did the Mets even trade for? I don't remember the Mets. Did they trade for Javi Baez? I don't think Dominguez should be an untouchable. We'll see what happens, Matt. It's not over yet. At least for me, it's not. If Jones gets called up, I think it should be September, but you never know. Like if they happen to trade Grisham and like they would trade them, like there are moves that they could make that they could facilitate a Jones call, but that doesn't make him more ready, right? He's going to be as ready as he's going to be, and we got to be patient with him too. No, Triple A's off on my exactly. Spencer Jones is an elite defender. He is super elite defender. He's known for his elite defense in the outfield. He's got just a crazy skill set. That type of talent doesn't come by very often. But again, it's got to translate to majors, right? I appreciate that, CeeLo. You're the man, dude. Love the global travel. Love it, man. Shout out to PR, man. Shout out to Ruba. Shout out to NYC, baby. Wepa. I appreciate that. This crew is the best, and you're part of the crew, CeeLo. That's right. You're part of the crew. I would put he could play left field or center field again, but again, if he comes this year, it depends on who they trade. If they trade, and well, that's another thing too. He's going to eat Dominguez at bats, and are the Dominguez fans going to like that? No. If they trade Dominguez, yes, Spencer Jones will get called up. I do think that'll happen. Or Everson Pereira. He's got 18 home runs in AAA too. He's not chopped liver either. So, right in the feet, from the strike zone. That's my enforcer right there. That's the guy right here. That's the man right here, right? The man. If you're not subscribed to the Strike Zone, please make sure you do that. You'd be doing yourself a favor. Please make sure you subscribe to The Ugly Truth too, Ken. You'd be doing yourself a favor there as well. Do I think Spencer Jones is better? Yes. Yep. Without hesitation. That doesn't mean I don't like to make guesses. I do. But I think Jones is better. Silver. But let me wrap this up, King. Let me let you go. I mean, I hope so. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. When did Spencer give up pitching? 3 years ago. He's only been hitting for about 3 years. When he got to Vanderbilt University. So do I, NFE. I look out of shape and out of fit, and I mean out of shape and overweight and all that stuff when I'm training too. When I'm done, I look shredded. And people make those comments. You know, why is he breathing hard? When if I'm live in the morning, why is he breathing hard? I just trained for 45 minutes and I'm walking very fast. That's why I'm breathing hard. But yeah, it is what it is. That's all right. It is all right. But you know how we do, and if we train hard, man. We do the work. We put in the work that a lot of other people don't do because we have to, right? If we want to get to the next level, exactly. I am 5'10", 170 pounds, 172 pounds, soaking wet. Okay, it makes it hard for us to handle the big dudes, especially the skilled ones. So we gotta be fit. We gotta be mobile, right? I'm not a big dude, man. Not a big dude. That's what I'm looking. That's why I look for the NFL Combine bench, putting up 225 on the bench. Okay, I'm shooting for 25 reps at 225. 25 reps. That's NFL Combine bench press 225. So my goal is 25 reps. It's gonna be deadline's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. 5'11". All right. Used to be 6'1". Oh, you're shrinking, dude. No. Yeah, all the big ones lost. The whole entire American League East, except for the Blue Jays, lost. So they picked up a game on everybody. We got to beat them tomorrow. And if we somehow win the series, then we'll pick up a game on them. But we'll see. We'll take it day by day. We'll take it day by day. So, but anyway, gang, peace and love to all these. Smack the like button on the way out if you don't mind. Toronto is a good team. There's no denying that. There is no denying that they're a very good team. I think they're better than the Blue. I think they're better than the Dodgers. That's my crazy take for tonight. I think the had into 5 now. Yeah, that's what I do. I just gotta stand upright, man. I gotta do a lot of posture stuff. And yes, they do need to do something new. There's no denying that. They need to act now. Now. Right? Have a great night, everybody. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.